The next 7 minutes cover the most important checks and actions to ensure collections without errors. Accuracy is the foundation of every successful collection strategy, and that means accurate balances, up-to-date parent details, and collection processes that are fully compliant every single time. Too often we see our users press that send button with no checks done, and what could have been a quick fix becomes a time-consuming problem that requires support intervention and damage control. The good news is that errors are largely preventable. Let's review the top checks to perform from level 1 checks all the way through to level 3 workflow checks. At level 1, the 4 most important areas to check are your financials, parent data, system settings, and legal compliance. Your financials must always be up to date before you run your workflow. Parent data must always be accurate and of a high quality. If parents don't receive correspondence and reminders, they won't act on their arrear accounts. System settings are crucial, and the most important ones are checked by the support team during your workflow session. So never miss your monthly session with the team. Legal compliance is non-negotiable, and with Jumping Fox software, the compliance rules are built directly into the system, so you are always covered. Now the level 2 checks. They are done before you run your workflow. Remember, errors are not usually caused by the system. They are caused by the actions taken or not taken before you run your workflow. I'm going to name my top 7 pre-workflow checks. Always verify each check against at least 3 accounts on the system. First, ignore accounts and financial descriptions. The accounts and financial description values listed here will be ignored by the system when it creates to-dos and calculate balances. Schools often forget about these accounts and descriptions, and by the time they reach the listing or handover stage, either the balance is incorrect or the accounts never went through workflow at all, leaving you with no choice but to start from step 1. Second, the workflow setup page. The default payment day is one of the most important settings, and you find it in the enrollment form or contract signed by the parent. If the payment day is set to the last day of the month, the system uses the previous month's outstanding balance in the to-do. Balance calculations become more complex when the last day of the month is selected as the payment day. So pay close attention to your workflow balances in this case. When the payment is set to the first day of the month, the system uses the current month's outstanding balance in the to-do. Next is the floor limits. The most important is the listing email floor limit. It is normally set at 3 times the monthly school fee amount. The National Credit Act requires an account to be outstanding for 3 consecutive billing cycles, and we manage this with the floor limit. Then we have the acceleration and exemption setting, also very important. When a school is set to accelerate, the system activates the acceleration templates. Any account that qualifies will automatically receive the acceleration workflow correspondence. The same applies to the exemption settings. When the system detects a parent has received a partial exemption, it activates the relevant templates and the parent will receive a partial exemption Section 41 letter. Third is the Receive Workflow page. On the Receive Workflow page, you manage which parents receive workflow and which contact details are used to SMS and email correspondence. You can also set whether alternative mobile numbers and email addresses are included. Some schools forget which parent they selected to receive workflow, and when it's time to list or hand over, the parent was excluded from workflow and cannot be listed or handed over. Lastly, workflow library and setup page for standard and arrangement workflow. Make sure all workflow steps and actions align with your enrollment form, contract, and debtor policy, and verify that the number of days allowed to rectify a breach matches your school's policy and contract terms. Before running workflow, also confirm that all placeholder data is available on the system. This includes the account number, parent details, email address, mobile numbers, grades, and very important, the correct banking details. Now the level 3 checks. They are done after you run your workflow. Always verify each check against at least 3 accounts on the system. Here are my top 10 level 3 checks. Compare account to-do balances to your financial software's closing balance. Check for extreme balances. Identify the lowest and highest balances generated and verify both against the school's detailed ledger. Check accounts with multiple learners. Check accounts with a balance brought forward value, debit or credit. Check for accounts with corrections. Check arrangement accounts, especially if the arrangement receives workflow for the first time. Check debit order accounts. They must only receive workflow when in default, meaning the debit order payment day has passed without payment. Check if auto arrangements have the correct closing balance. Verify that the registration fee is handled correctly. Ensure that the correct correspondence is created for partial exemptions accounts, and also ensure that the correct correspondence is created for acceleration or standard accounts and private schools. Verify that accounts with cancelled contracts do not reset to step 1 in the workflow. Last on my list are the 4 most common errors to avoid. Number 1. The accelerated amount is not invoiced before running workflow. When the system is set to accelerate and the acceleration templates are applied, the accelerated amount must be invoiced first. Without this, the correspondence balance and the statement balance will not match. Number 2. Floor limits are set too high. Accounts fall below the threshold and skip workflow. This is not good when you want to hand over later in the year. It is also not good for cash flow. Number 3. Pending to-dos from previous workflow. The system will not allow a new workflow if there are pending to-dos. Complete or postpone them. Please do not just delete to-dos. And number 4. No SAPO credits loaded. If registered emails are included in your workflow, but no SAPO credits are available, legal notices will be delayed. Confirm that sufficient credits are loaded before running workflow. And these are your top checks for collections without errors. Please don't miss our short session on Wednesday the 17th. The checks Abel is going to discuss are very important.